Absolutely so excited right now. We have Randall Neason. He is the owner, founder, chief creative at ELV8ED Marketing Agency. Right now, he's working a lot with real estate agents, realtors, and real estate professionals with their marketing to help them really get out into the marketplace. But he's doing it in such a creative way. He actually was just recently featured at Mobile Monkeys Conference, which is a chat messaging platform. And he was, he's a distinct individual, started out as a dancer and went on to become an entrepreneur and beyond. And I'm just going to, honestly, Randall is just amazing. And I'm just going to pass it right over to you, Randall. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about your story and show these guys what you have going on. Then we're going to dig in some juicy content of how you can market your services. And Randall, if you stick around, Randall's actually going to be showing you the exact presentation that his agency uses to close clients. Like, he's literally going to be showing you his sales presentation. So if you're interested in sales, if you're interested in marketing, if you're interested in just like putting your own personal creative spin on it, you got to listen to what Randall has to say. Randall, take it away.
Man, I appreciate you, brother. Well, first, I have to say, man, this is an awesome, just thankful to be on this opportunity right now, to be able to share value with other like-minded individuals, right? Like whether it's, coaches, consultants, agency owners, startup agency owners. It's an honor, man. And really what you put together here is fantastic. So hats off to you and Larry for creating a platform like this where people can really learn, things that will help them to elevate in business, right? Whether that be in sales or just how they position or productize their services, right? So hats off to you, man, for real. Boom.
Thank you. Oh, cash.
So you got it?
I got it. I got it.
All right. So let's dive in. All right, you guys. So as Michael so beautifully said, my name is Randall Neason, founder of ELV8ED Marketing. And I want to kind of share with you guys today a different perspective as far as how we generate more sales, right? Generate more clients in our business. What I found out is literally the communication as we, communicate with our prospects. It's like it's a disconnect, right? So sometimes, and some of you guys that are listening to this, you guys will understand as well, but we understand with our service, we have a different language, right? As agency owners, we talk in the language of, we'll help you get some, some SEO. We'll do some of your blogs. We'll do your website. We'll optimize your campaigns. We'll get you some Facebook pixels, and make sure your Facebook pixel is all seasoned and ready for conversions. And like, if we really think about it, it's a language that we talk, that we know. And the clients that we're servicing, all they care about is the lead, right? So I want to kind of share with you guys today exactly the pitch that we use to really simplify it, right? To make sure it's a clean understanding, So as I dive in here to this presentation, as you guys can so beautifully see, this is my lovely living room. I do have a time machine available.
Is that your real living room?
This is my real living room. I do have a time machine. So if you guys want that, comment below, swipe up for, no, I'm just playing. This is just
comment hashtag time machine down below.
Comment hashtag, you see the chair right there? Look at that chair, bro. It's so funky looking, huh?
Damn, yeah. It is funky looking.
Right.
I thought that this was a stock photo, to be honest. But it's way better. It's way better now.
So let's dive in. Let's dive in right here. So what we're going to be talking about, you guys, is a marketing menu. Now, this idea was inspired to me by a great marketer. You guys may know him by the name of Billy Jean. And I kind of just liked the concept, so I adapted it and put it into a different language to where it's like everything's congruent, right? So the concept behind it is, okay, we go to restaurants like, In-N-Out, right? Where literally their menu of items is literally 3 things or 2 things probably now. No, I think it's 3 things. So they have like, the hamburger, the double hamburger, or the cheeseburger, and that's pretty much it. Of course, they have like their secret menu, but it's the simplicity of it, right? And that's the key thing I want to kind of highlight for you guys is simplicity equals scalability, right? So keep that in mind. So
I
again,
love that. I love
yeah,
that. If anyone's watching and something strikes out to you as like impactful, go ahead and just drop a hashtag with what that is. So one thing I just learned, hashtag simplicity is, what was it?
scalability.
That's it. Simplicity is scalability. So just take these little notes, and if you want to type them in the chat, go ahead, so that we can see that you're here with us. So Randall, go on, my man.
100%, man. Yeah, so it's so golden, right? Just the simplicity of it, right? So simplicity equals scalability. So again, kind of by tracking into the menu service items, right? That disconnect of the language. So what I want to share with you guys before we even dive in, even further, again, like this presentation, you guys, literally has been the whole success of this whole entire agency that I'm running, right? Literally 80% of our sales happen from this visual presentation that I'm about to share with you guys. Like, it's so powerful because again, it does so many things. I know you guys probably heard that saying, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Well, this presentation, what it does is it's showing the clients the service that they're getting. And at the same time, it's educating them on the process, which as a marketer, that's so golden to have your clients understand what's going on in the process of how we're going to be generating these leads and so on and for like so on and so forth, right? So again, being able to knock both of those out at one time. So before we dive into that, though, I'm going to spend a little bit of time here. I don't like to talk too much about myself, but in 2011, I don't know, some of you guys may or may not know, I was on America's Best Dance Crew season 6. It was an awesome experience, just being on that platform, was able to travel the world after this, obviously based on the opportunity of it, traveled so many places, my passport, I like to say that it's tatted, but it just has a lot of stamps, right? So I was able to kind of experience a lot, really enjoy and see the world, a lot of places that, just growing up in San Diego or more so Oceanside, California, I really didn't, envision seeing the world, the places that I was seeing after this experience, right? Going to Germany, going to Korea, going to Japan, going to all these different places and just being able to express dance and teach there. So that's where I kind of got like my first start as far as just the overall, I would say, perspective, right, of just creativity. And I believe we all have that creativity in us, right? So again, started there. This is JC Chavez, really quick, just kind of talking about a move that I did. You guys probably won't be able to hear it too clearly, but he was just kind of shouting me out right here. That's me right there. He was like, your body got it, you got it. So JC Chavez talking about that right there. So it was an awesome experience. So fast forward 5 years though, right? I'm like, okay, we're traveling around the world. I need to get something that's more stable though, right? I want to just be at home, right? I don't want to have to always be traveling around to make income and traveling, being on these flights for like 11 hours. You know what I'm saying, Michael? It's like, these flights are long, they're long flights.
I just got back from a flight that was like 5 hours and it took me out for the entire day. So,
seriously. So I'm like, it's a fun experience to see the world, but at the same time, what if there's something that you can do to sustain yourself and live without having to do all that traveling, right? So fast forward 5 years, 2016, a great friend of mine was also a dancer with me. And I'm looking at his Instagram and I'm like, bro, you're the same age as me and you have a Rolls Royce. Like, what? You're living in San Diego in like this big old mansion. Like, what's going on? What are you doing? Because at the time, again, I kind of went the dance direction. He kind of took off when going business. So again, 2016, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And he's like, e-commerce. And I'm like, e-commerce? Like, what the heck is this? Right? Like,
what is that?
What is that? Like, what is the E in the commerce? What does the E stand for? Right? Like, what is this? So he he starts to explain the concept of it. Again, kind of just fast forwarding though, this is where I first experienced making money while I was asleep. And this literally changed so much for me because again, coming from the background of everything was paid for, like they were paying for my flight, they were paying for my food. I had per diem, so I had a certain amount to even spend. Plus, even at that age, I kind of was already starting entrepreneurship, because I would bring t-shirts that I know people would buy, and I'll literally sell out all the t-shirts there, right? So
Mm.
but still was a lot of like, I have to be there, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to be present. And now this model, I'm seeing you can literally be at home, sleep even, and you're waking up and you're already at like 500, you're already at $1,000 in a day, and you haven't even done anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of just changed so much for me, and it put a perspective to like, wow, there's so many different ways to generate income. So I adopted the model. I started, created a store, built a store, drop shipping products from AliExpress. As those of you who know about e-commerce, it's pretty much just drop shipping. You're like the middle person, right? So as you guys know, for those that may not know about e-commerce, it's like, a lot of items that you see, say made in China, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
you're getting these items at a low cost, you're putting them on the site, you're selling it for higher, you're making a profit. Really simple, straight to the point. Kind of picture having like your own Walmart, online, that you can sell and price up the items. Pretty much simple as far as e-commerce goes in a nutshell. So
Mm-hmm.
what happened though, overall, the thing started to happen to me, and it's very common to happen for a lot of people. And the thing that started to happen to me was I didn't have control, right? There were so many things that were happening as far as shipping delays, like people weren't getting their product for like months, weeks.
Mm.
And I was literally the face, because again, keep in mind, they don't know, you know, that it's coming from China, because if they did, they would skip me and go straight to AliExpress and buy it for 5 cents, 10 cents as they can. But again, the brand was that. And for me as my character, I was just like, man, like this sucks. Like I really don't have control, and just kind of seeing
Mm-hmm.
those comments, it just hit me personally. I'm just like, man, even though they don't know it's Randall behind the scenes, they just know the e-commerce brand, but still taking it, for me personally, I was just like, man, I'm seeing these comments, they paid, they invested, and they're not getting that product that they paid for. It's taking them forever, and I have no control to speed up that process, right? So after that, I was
Yeah.
like, man, I can't do this. I can't do it. And obviously during this time, and there's better ways to do e-commerce. That's a bad business model. Obviously, of course, there's ways that you can do even now and even back then, but I wasn't knowledgeable of it, right? But you can buy stuff in bulk. You can have like a warehouse to kind of prevent
Yeah.
those types of things. So you're, and to a degree, kind of competing with Amazon. So you have it on hand, so you're able to kind of get it out. But again, 2016, my mind wasn't there. Fresh in the game, I was just like, wow, this is awesome, making money. But it just started to hit me. I'm just like, I can't do this. So fast forward a year after that, beginning of 2017, a friend of mine was telling me, he was like, Randall, like, why don't you start like a marketing agency, for like businesses, and teaching them how to generate leads. And
Mm-hmm.
then I had like a whole light bulb kind of go off for me. And I was like, wow, like, dang, okay, that is possible. Cause again, kind of backtracking. And the reason why I started with dance is because it's the perspective, right? Even this presentation, like the visuals of it. So I understood how to stop people on their scroll. And that's like the major thing to be able to do, is to be able to stop someone during this day and age, to be able to stop someone while they're scrolling, to pay attention to what you're talking about in your advertisement and have them take the action that you want them to do. So I understood that going into, again, having that dance background and kind of just being able to understand the things to kind of captivate and hold people's attention. Again, going into e-commerce, being able to stop people on their scroll and be able to have them look into this product and be able to want to get this product, right? So now just being able to transition that for businesses, for like restaurants, for real estate agents, for mortgage brokers, to be able
Mm-hmm.
to captivate, stop people on their scroll and drag them into a process. So that's everything in a nutshell till this present time, still active within the agency. And now we're going to dive into the really cool stuff, like
Oh
the
my
the
goodness.
the
Give us the
really
really
cool
cool stuff.
stuff,
This stuff
right?
was already cool, but you said there's more cool stuff ahead?
Yeah, hashtag really cool stuff. Like we're about to put the really cool stuff right now, right? So what I was talking about in the beginning, right? How to like really differentiate your services to where you're standing out, but most importantly, your language and the communication between client and your service that you provide, it's able to connect where it makes sense. Again, not talking in the languages of, hey, we're going to optimize your Facebook pixel and we're going to get you SEO so you can rank high on Google, and like all these things that they don't really have a full understanding of. But the main thing
Mm.
that they want is the lead and the process to how they're going to get more of them. So the really cool stuff.
Oh my goodness.
We have our service menu. Very simple, 1 through 5. Retargeting package is number 1. Number 2, customer lead gen. Number 3, messenger campaign. Number 4, birthday campaign. Number 5, appointment campaign. And the cool thing about this, guys, again, simplicity equals scalability. When I'm on sales calls or my team's on sales calls, They literally can just say something as simple as this: "Hey, you guys, we just got a number 3 in, cook it up." And now we have the full system of what to do. So what we're doing with this, and I'm going to dive in and kind of show you guys this step by step, but we simplified the process. So now it's like we're not putting more work on our shoulders and customizing each thing for each client. We're servicing them based on what need that they have, right? So, hey, do you need customers? The number 2, you have a new business. Okay, cool. And this is so broad for literally any industry. Again, this presentation right here, you guys, has been the pinnacle of all of our success within this agency, is being able to kind of showcase the process of what's happening and how the leads are going to come straight to them, right? So for this, for example, a retargeting package. So we'll dive in here. So this, for example, obviously is for a client that's probably already running ads, which a lot of people are most likely doing, especially right now. And this service alone, literally, you guys, can be sold for anything. You know what I mean? It's like you can put whatever label, whatever number on it. Obviously, you can kind of just do some of the background research as far as what is that client's price value, right? What is one lead like? What is that value to the client, right? And you can kind of work your package and your pricing and towards that. But literally, this service alone, retargeting, right? The ability to have someone that you advertise to and creating ads to kind of structure those people to where it's like that deja vu effect, right? So again,
Oh, I was just looking for that
I
thing.
was just looking for that. Like, oh, it must be a sign. I see it again on Instagram. I see it again. I must be a sign. I must get it. But again, a lot of people, mostly in this day and age, they're just throwing out ads and they're not collecting that data. So to give a live example of this, say for example, you run a video ad and the video itself is like 5 minutes long. Within Facebook, you're able to retarget people based on how long a percentage that they watch the video. So again, 5 minute long video, you're able to retarget people that watched 100% of that video, 75% of that video, 50% of that video. That is so powerful, because if someone watched 100% of the video, even 75% of that video, and you take that group of audience of people, and now you're showing them a different showcase of like what that item looks like, whether it's like a discounted offer, like, hey, we know we've seen you've seen this ad, like, well, right now, and I'll even show you guys an example. This is an example of like a retargeting ad. So in the first case, obviously it was like that video that was showcasing, like, it had like the models putting on the lotion, had the music in the background, long, lengthy video, 5 minutes. And the people that didn't take action, but they watched 75% of the video, 100% of the video. Now we're able to take that data and send out another ad to them where it's a picture image like you're seeing on your screen. Okay, how about this? Love it or your money back. Simple as that. Right. So this is an example of a retargeting ad, and we're kind of showcasing this to clients as we're, telling them about our services and what we'll be doing, but we're showing them the process and educating them at the same time of what we're going to be doing for them. Right. So again, boom. How about this? Love it or your money back. Simple as that. Up to $100 off, and literally be able to kind of give them an incentive to take action, because they've seen the video, they've watched 75%, they watched 100% of it. Now, hey, how about this? If you don't like it, money back. On top of that, here's a coupon for a discount off, right? And from there, obviously, what we end up doing is they go to a landing page. And these are the 3 key things, you guys, for any business. It doesn't matter what industry it is. The main source of everything is the traffic source, whether that be Facebook or Google. It's the traffic source, it's the landing page, and it's that follow-up nurturing system. Those are the 3 core things that any business really needs, right? You need a place to be able to draw traffic from, a place where they can land, where you can collect that information, right? Especially, it's so huge to have, that distribution. That's one thing I always advise people to have, is like, get that name, get that email, get that phone number, because these platforms, for a lot of people, like, Facebook ad accounts are kind of going down right now. Like, there's so many things that are happening that there's no control. But if you have a list, of thousands of names and emails and phone numbers, you'll forever always be in business, because you'll always be able to present them with offers, right? So it's so effective to always have, that email and stuff in place right there, right? So
and to speak to that as well, Randall,
mhm.
just like that's something that I kind of missed out on when I started. That was like the first thing I learned, and it wasn't until like this year, 4.5 years later, that I was like, oh, I should be building my list.
Yes.
And it's so don't discount the list. That's the key to everything. You got to
Seriously.
build the list, no matter what business you're in, no matter who your clients are. You build up that prospect list and that client list.
Seriously. And like, you're able to kind of, and obviously, it's one of those things that we find out as we go, so it's obviously like even coming into the game, like, into the marketing space, it's like, dang, I didn't get that email. I didn't get that phone number. I didn't get it, and it's like something that we kind of pick up as we go, right? Just like you're kind of saying. So it's just so vital to really have it. And it's a thing that's pretty much said in pretty much all industries, right? Like the money's in the list. And
Yep.
that's so true because literally, like I said before, you have that list, you have that CSV file, that Google spreadsheet where you have names, last names, phone numbers, emails, and literally you can have 10,000, all that, like all
Yeah.
that there, you'll forever be in business. Like Facebook can close down, Instagram can close down, but you'll have a name, email, phone number, that you can literally blast out messages to of different offers or different services to, no matter which industry you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So powerful.
100%. So powerful.
Yeah. So again, from that ad, to the landing page, and obviously within here, we tell the clients too that what we're going to try to do is try to upsell them, right? So we're going to try to upsell the people that are coming back through this retargeting campaign. So they might have seen that one ad for that one product, but then we're also kind of showcase how we can add in, related items that they'll end up adding to their cart, right? So that will literally be all in itself, literally the retargeting package right there. So the number one. And that would just be for someone, like I said, they're probably already running ads and maybe they're not getting any conversions. They don't have anything in place to kind of revisit these people that watched their videos or that maybe clicked on their ad or landed on their landing page or landed on their website, but literally being able to craft that data. And that's the main thing that's so important with, being a paid advertiser is you're paying for data. And that data is so golden, right? You can still reuse that data that you've gathered, right? You're able to see how many clicks that you have, how many people landed on your website. You can kind of retrack and gather those people that landed on your website and then create another, again, retargeting campaign to show them something very similar to what they've seen. You don't have to send them something completely different. Show them something that they already showed interest in, right? And sometimes that's what it takes for some people. It's not every time they're going to buy on that first time, right? It's like having a system in place. Again, it's going to come back around where it's like, whoa, this must be a sign. I must get this. I see this and I'm on Instagram and I seen this when I was on the website and now I'm seeing an image on Instagram. Then I'm seeing a testimonial of someone using that product or service on Facebook. Then I'm seeing, you know what I'm saying? So then all in their mind.
Can I add something in too as well for some of the people? So Randall here, he's a master media buyer of paid traffic, but you can also apply this very much to an organic strategy. If you're someone who's creating content, if you have a Facebook community, if you have a YouTube channel, whatever it is that you're doing, if you can drive that traffic to either collect their, hold on one second here, to either collect their name, their phone number, their email, that still is your list. And you can continue to market to those people, send them emails, send them texts, send them messages. And then as well, if you make a post, which is kind of like an ad in some respects, if you make a post that's like, hey, get my free guide to XYZ, and people sign up for it, and you're like, hey, grab this thing, and then a month goes by and you reach out to those people, that's retargeting that's like organic retargeting in a different way, right? Because you're reaching out to them, you say, hey, I have a new piece of content, go check this out as well. And you could do it manually. So I just wanted to give that kind of bonus frame of mind.
Definitely. I think that's so golden too. Cause I mean, even when we look at it from that spectrum of what you're talking about, it's like, hey, you can even do this organically. And it's that follow-up system. But it's most importantly is just gathering that information so you can do a follow-up. Gathering that email, gathering that phone number so you can reach back out. And sometimes that's really all it takes. Literally there's times where, and that's another thing that's commonly said is the money's in the follow-up. So there's so many of these things that are said so often that I feel like they're kind of just like thrown to the back of the mind. But again, like the money being in the list is so key, and the money's in the follow-up. Like
Right.
those two core principles right there, because you're able to literally forever be in business as long as, major disclaimer, as long as your service and what you're talking about that you're able to literally provide for. From that, it's all
Mm.
going to take care of itself, you know, because once you follow up with them, they see it. Because it's hard to do these kind of systems. It's hard to do retargeting or customer lead generation, even if, I mean, Michael, I think you would agree with this as well. If your service isn't really that good, it really wouldn't even matter how many retargeting campaigns we do. It wouldn't
Yeah.
matter how many customer lead gen ads that we do if the service that you're providing, or the solution rather that you're solving for these people, doesn't really solve what they have, like their problem that they're facing. So I
Hmm.
think that's so golden as well in this whole, you know, spectrum of what we're talking about here. It's like, yes, you can have these tools of even organic, you know, lead generation, and literally you can make, I know people, a lot of people that generated thousands, hundreds of thousands just with organic alone. So you don't really have to go paid advertising. I think that was so
Hmm.
beautifully put how you said that, because I think just to shine that perspective for people, because a lot of people think it's like, I have to throw paid, and it's like, you can do paid, but you can also do organic.
Yeah.
But it's just key to have those things in place, right?
Yeah, and also just one more thing, I want you to keep going because I know you have some more gems to share. If you're on here live, if you're on here on the replay, go ahead, hashtag live, hashtag replay. We're on here with Randall Neason. He's sharing some golden gems about how he's been able to create a menu for his agency because simplicity equals scalability. And so I'm super excited to have him on here. And if you're on here on the replay, go ahead, hashtag replay. And then one last thing before I let you go on, because I just want to keep on bringing things up I want to share about,
I love
is
it.
that if you've been in business for any amount of time, whether that's 3 months, 6 months, 10 years, you already have people that you can retarget. You already have people in your network that you can serve. It's just about writing those down or like forming that list.
Hmm.
Even if you don't, maybe you don't like have them in a big spreadsheet, but flip through your phone, flip through your contacts, flip through your friends on Facebook. Are there people that you've either worked with or have kind of expressed some kind of interest in the past? Reach out to those people as well, because like
Wow.
that's your retargeting. Your
Yeah.
network is your retargeting list.
Yeah. And
So
that's so golden. And I just love how we're just kind of like on that boom, boom, just dropping a whole bunch of things. It's so valuable. But I think even what we're talking about, we're coming from a place of we're actually doing this ourselves too, right? Or started off doing this and then, you know, catapulted into other areas. But what I want to tie in also with what you said, which is so beautifully said, and I think it's so key, is I kind of learned this through like the MLM model, right? Like the main thing, the first thing that they all do, I don't know if you guys ever been in an MLM, but then the first thing they tell you to do is to pull out your phone and go through your list, right? We just talked about the
mhm,
money's in the list, right? And we're thinking more so that we have to go out, you know, have a landing page. Yes, that's one way, but literally we have a list right on our phones right now,
right
right?
here.
Right now in our contact section, in our contact and our phone numbers, that's a list. And we can literally start literally right there. And I think that's so perfect how you said that, because we can start with our friends. We can start with our family. Hey, this is the new business opportunity that I'm in. Hey, this is the new business that I'm doing for these particular types of people. Do you know anybody? Literally starting with that list right there is so golden, you know? So it's
Yeah,
not even necessarily, like you said, having to be paid. It can still be organic. And even starting with your very own phone, looking
yeah,
into the list of that, I think that's key.
yeah. And I'll share one more thing about this subject because I mean we're just bouncing off. I just love this topic.
It's a vibe,
Um,
man.
it's a vibe.
Mhm.
The There's some study that was done or some experiment that was done years ago that it was basically like they gave out like 100 letters or something like that, and they to some people in the middle of the country, and they were like, how can you get this to the editor at the Boston Times or something like that, or the New York
Mm,
Times, something like that. And the average number of like people that it needed to be passed along was like six. I think it was 6 people, or there's something around. I'm not exactly 100%. I shouldn't be quoting this, but something along the lines of basically it took on average only 6 connections to get that letter from this random person to the editor of the New York Times. And I think the shortest amount was just 2 people.
Wow.
So what I mean to share with that is like you could literally be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 6 people away from your perfect ideal client. And if you're working as a sales professional for a client, you're only 2, 3 connections away from that, from your perfect client in that regard as well. Like we're all so interconnected and so close to our ideal clients. It's just a matter of really connecting with people and requesting to connect, so
Seriously. And I want to, this is not even like a paid subscription or paid sponsor or nothing, but I want to shout out the group that you created, because I think that's so golden to what you created is right. It's you and Larry is just the connection, exactly what you're talking about. You never know the person right next to you. They might know, say you specialize in, for realtors or for insurance brokers. You never know who you might be in connection with that has a whole list already developed, that just from you making that connection with them and just that, it's genuine, then they'll literally, boom, hey, you got to check out this person. He can help you out. He does this, he does that. He can help you. So literally just like that. And I think that's, again, not a plug or nothing, but it is a plug low key for your group to people to get in there, because I think it's fantastic and it's awesome, again, but this is off the cuff. This is all just, this isn't rehearsed, you guys. We didn't meet and talk about what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about. It's literally, hey, let's just get on here and let's just drop some value. But I really believe what you're saying is so golden, because it's the connections that we make, right? Because you never know. The person the person that you speak with might have already the list developed for you for the clients that you service. So golden.
Yeah.
So golden.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, you never know. And that's why, all right, I want you to keep going with your presentation.
All right.
But the last thing, and then I'm going to force you have to go on with your presentation. You have to talk about the rest of your menu. And I also want you to share a little bit about, you do it throughout your presentation, but I kind of wanted you to get a little meta about like using your creativity in your campaigns and then also like for your messaging.
Gotcha.
And you know what? I'm not even going to share what I was going to share because I don't remember it now. But here we go.
Let's do it.
Randall Neason.
Let's do it. So you guys, I want to show you guys another part right here. And this has been very, very profitable as far as the service menu items that I was kind of sharing with you guys before, 1 through 5. I want to share with you guys the one that's been the most beneficial, especially right now. And just, I want to share with you guys just how Michael was talking about, just the creativity behind it and the mindset, right? So it's our number 3, which is the messenger campaign. This right here, you guys, has literally been the number 1 seller within the agency. And it's something that you guys can literally adopt and have for your agency as well, for whatever you're doing. Or even if you're not even an agency owner, you can literally adapt this concept and run this for yourself and literally get results. Seriously, no cap, no anything. I'm going to dive into it and kind of break it down for you.
Oh my goodness.
The
giving away the fun.
I'm giving away the hot sauce, as you said, or the secret sauce, right?
Secret sauce. Okay,
the secret sauce, man. So the messenger campaign, the number 3. So obviously, as you guys know, like, I don't even know the exact numbers as of this current time with the pandemic and stuff that we're in, but these stats right here are literally from like 2018, 2019. So 1.3 billion messenger users globally. Huge. So already right now, I want to say this. For anybody that has an objection as of, I don't know if my clients are on Facebook, 1.3 billion messengers users globally. For anyone that has any type of objection saying, oh, I don't know if my age demographic is there or if my clients will be there, there's more than 20 billion messages that are exchanged between businesses and users on a monthly basis. And again, the facts of everything right now is these numbers are probably even way higher than that even right now, right? But the fact of the matter is, just to kind of put the perspective to you guys, is how do we communicate with each other? Like, just really quick, really just think about that. How do we communicate with each other as far as, friends or family? It's through text messages, right? It's through Facebook Messenger. Like, there's never a time I don't email my mom if I have a question or if I want to talk to her. I don't email my mom. You know, and I don't think anyone emails their mother. Like they either call their mom, text message their mom if their mom's like tech
Yeah.
savvy and understands the phones and stuff like that. But the point I'm trying to make is the communication that we have amongst each other is that it's why though, because it's instant. It's like it's right there. And what I started to realize is, again, coming to the point of from, you know, from a business perspective, is a lot of our outreach is through emails. And don't take my word wrong. I'm not saying none of this. I'm not saying email is dead. Email is still effective. I know a lot of people that are crushing it with emails, whether they're cold or warm, they're crushing it with emails. Email is super effective. But what I am saying, as far as the time that we're in right now and how we communicate right now in this 21st century, the instance to be able to respond, or rather, which I'm about to show you guys right now, is imagine having an ad out there. And as soon as someone comments, it instantly starts a conversation within Messenger. Literally, like taking away the fact that you have to hire someone to monitor the comments, or even yourself to monitor the comments and respond back. So this right here, again, the Messenger campaign, the number 3, let's go ahead and dive in. So this right here, you guys, is an example, and we'll probably post, I have a link here. I'll post the link so you guys can kind of test this out for yourself as well. But it's pretty much facebook.com/elevated marketing. And that's elevated ELV, the number 8ED marketing, right? So, and we'll post this in the comment section so you guys can actually experience what this comment guard is. Excuse me, I like to call it an instant responder to kind of paint more of a perspective of what's actually happening. It's like an instant response as soon as someone comments. So kind of just put some perspective for this one right here. So obviously this ad right here, again, just to be able to have that ability to stop on the scroll, looking at that image, it's like, it's hilarious. What the heck? It's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And this is a huge question, right? It's like, what's the best social media platform to be on in 2020? Should I be on Facebook, you know, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn? It's a common question that business owners ask themselves, right? So as you guys can already tell, just based on this, the back end, as far as the ads, is we're targeting small business owners and things of that nature, right? So now it's the comment guard that's happening. So literally what's happening right here, and again, we'll post a link in there so you guys can kind of test this and experience this, you know, for yourselves.
Is this the link right here?
That is the link.
All right,
That was genius.
Facebook.com/elevated marketing. It's on the screen right here. It'll be in the comments or description. So
love that, man. I love how you just did that. It's like, whew. But yeah, so again, the context of the people that we're targeting with this is, you know, the small business owners, people, you know, that are trying to start up their business. They want to know where they should spend most of their time, you know, where they should be at, right? So that's the context of it. So now it's the ability to comment below. So when they comment below what they guess, what we're going to do is, like I said before, we're going to instantly start a conversation with them directly in their inbox. So this takes away so much from the ability of like literally watching your comments, right? And being able to respond back to every single person and follow up with everyone. Like, how time consuming is that, right? So
it's very time consuming,
super time consuming, right? So literally look at the value of this, you guys. They're able to comment below. And basically what we're saying in the ad copy is, you know, comment below what you think, and we'll send you a PDF of a breakdown of all the social media platforms. So then you can make the decision of which platform you think you should be on. Right. So it's a value add. It's not even nothing like so much pressure where it's like, hey, you know, you comment below and then they get spammed in their inbox. It's literally giving them value. So just kind of showcase what that value looks like. Again, we like to add so much personalities with these chatbots. Right. So this right here is literally like a GIF of like a pinky promise, right? Because they commented below and we're like, hey, as promised, here you go, Randall. Here's the answer to the $1 million question. But again, what that is really is it's a PDF, right? It can be a value video. It can be so many different things. It's where our creativity will take us, right? But it's just a value add, right? So we're able to kind of break down, you know, giving them more tips of what they can kind of do to kind of figure out which social media channel that they should be on. Again, we revamped this. So when you guys kind of go through it, you'll see like the whole process and you'll see like the landing page and stuff that it leads you to as far as breaking down each social media platform and their benefits, the pros and the cons of them. So again, we're giving this to them directly and instantly through Messenger. So
can I interrupt you for a second, Randall? Because I just want to talk about how genius this style of campaign is. because I just want to, what's the word I want to say? I don't know. Anyway, I want to give you roses because it's so amazing. So just to review, this is what's happening. You're showing an ad to small business owners, and it's not just like, hey, click this link and get this thing, but you're actually gamifying the ad to have it be, hey, like comment which one down below, which do you think it is? So it's more of a quiz, it's more of something fun. It's like, oh, I don't know,
Yeah.
like let me guess. And then you also are telling them very upfront, like, hey, we're going to send you this thing. If you comment down below, we're going to send you some value about what we think and what we found, right? And so it's being very upfront, it's being very straightforward, and it's also using, this is why I'm just admiring it, because it's just so creative to be like, hey, like just we just want them to engage and choose one of these things. How can we do that in a creative way that's fun and not just so boring, right?
Right. 100%.
And then you're using that personality, you're sending a little gif or a picture that like has a pinky promise, like, hey, we promise you we're going to send you this thing, and then you give it to them, and then what happens after they get the PDF?
Yeah. So that's great. Like that's so on point. And the thing is, like, and I'm pretty sure you can kind of agree with this too, is just the way that marketing is happening, right? Like there's so much like fluff, right? There's so many things where it's like, and I think right now, and especially in this day and age, like the consumers, like our prospects are smart as heck, right? They're really smart.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to know, okay, this is some, it's clickbait. It's like, oh my goodness, click. But it's literally like
Yeah.
with this approach, it's like, it's so genuine. It's like, hey, this is a tough question. So what we did is we took the time out for you and we crafted together all these different, social medias and their pros and the cons for each one, and kind of depending on your business model where you're at, and literally giving them that. And even on that note, like this can work, you guys. I want to kind of throw another perspective here for real estate agents. One of the main things that we've done this last summer were, actually, let me just backtrack just a little bit. So a lot of real estate agents, they're posting just straight listings of the homes that they have, right? They're just kind of just posting those listings, and it's like, and I'm pretty sure you guys see them. It's like it gets like one like, there's some that are probably killing it, but what are they doing on the back end, right? How much are they putting into that paid advertisement? So
Mm-hmm.
again, it's different for each person. But the thing I really want to highlight for you guys is the fact of this comment guard. So now fast forwarding summertime, right? We have real estate agents, and what we did for them creatively is we incorporated this number 3 for them, the comment guard. And what we did, instead of just posting their listings, we put separate individual images all in one image, but we put like a B, C, D option. And literally what it was is, again, keep in mind summertime. So we used the listings that they had, but we used instead the pools that each of those listings had, and put A, B, C, D, A, B, C, or D. Like, which one do you guys like below? Comment below. As soon as they comment below on an ad like that, boom, the first message that they get in their inbox is, hey, are you already in your dream home with the pool like the one that you selected? Choose no, I'm not there yet, or yes, I am. And once they say either one of those, there's a already created an automated sequence and whole funnel of just instant communication that happens, right? So if they say no, I'm not there yet, then what we do is, again, with that same genuine approach, hey, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, Michael. Did you know that interest rates are at an all-time low right now? Here's some of, would you like to see if you're qualified, if you qualify for whatever the case is, no credit
Yeah.
card pull required, and now they're going through a whole form, right? All automated. Now we already have their name. Now we're getting, hey, just in case we get disconnected, what's the best email to reach you at? And the golden part about this thing with the comment guard is everyone that's logging on to Facebook is logging on with an email. So the chatbot already knows that. So it's literally just a push button for them. So they don't even have to necessarily type in that email. It's going to pop up right under that question.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as they do that, it's going to be like, okay, boom. And guess what? That email is, I would say, 90% of the time, the one that they check most frequently, compared to the pop-ups on a website where it's like, hey, put your email here to subscribe to our newsletter. They put whatever email there. I've done it. I just put whatever email just to get that pop-up out the way. But with this, again, it's already going to populate the email that they use to sign in with Facebook, because you have to sign in with Facebook with an email. So it's an easy transition for them as far as just going through it, right? And just the visualizations that we're giving, putting in different GIFs, right? But and what's the most important about it, though, like I've said, is, they're kind of going through these forms just based on an ABCD option. Now we're getting their full list of information that we can literally hand over to the real estate agents on a platter. So just creative approaches like this, where it's like, it's something where a lot of people are going to want to engage. Again, keep in mind, it was summertime. It's like there's different pool types, different listings, different styles of pools, right? So they're commenting below, oh, I like B. Again, going into that transition. Hey, are you already in a, your dream home with the pool like the one that you selected? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. If they say yes, they are, then it's like a referral type of sequence that they go down to. Hey, do you know anyone that might be interested? So we're still able to capitalize. But the cool thing about this is it's all automated, right? And that's like the game changer. Again, it's kind of like what I like to describe it as, to paint the picture, is that meme where everyone's kind of going one direction, and then there's like one person or a few people going like that way. Like that's literally what it is in the market space. It's like literally just by doing something just like that, like a comment guard just like this, you stand out instantly. And it's more engaging. Like you said, Michael, it's fun. Excuse me, it's interactive. It's like, oh my goodness, like I'm getting this information. It's not forceful, because they're able to come back to it as they want, right? It's not like you're down their throat with it. It's like, hey, it's a question there. It's still going to be there. You're able to kind of send out notifications for them as reminders within Messenger. And again, the open rates on that compared to email,
it's a lot different.
Yeah. It's a lot different. So literally just having those things kind of in place here. But one thing I want to show you guys too, that's really golden to me, is, and the creativity behind this, is this question right here. So again, kind of coming from now transitioning, from the real estate to just agency, or even just kind of just paint a picture, is, this question right here. So by the way, which social media platforms are you currently using? So this right here, I want to take you guys behind the scenes of what we're doing strategically with this and how we're positioning ourselves for just straight success. So with this question, whatever one that they select, we're able to kind of, again, calculate that data. So they're saying Facebook. So now as an agency owner, we know exactly what type of content to start curating. We know what type of content to try to start making, to be able to send out to everyone that clicked on Facebook, everyone that clicked on Instagram. We're able to, go back to the drawing board, figure out, hey, here's 5 tips, here's 10 tips to help you grow your Instagram account. And we're able to literally give it directly to those people. And this is so powerful because, again, with Facebook ads, it's kind of like you're throwing stuff in the dark at sometimes, right? But with this, we're able to kind of give them information based on what they already have an interest in, or what they're already telling us where they're at. So now it's like there's no rejection. It's kind of like, hey, they're on Facebook. The next button can be, hey, do you mind if I send you 5 tips to help you increase your Facebook page? To help you increase or generate more sales from your Facebook page, more sales from your Instagram page. And again, it's based on where they're already at. So strategically in the background, now we're able to kind of curate this content based on what everyone's already telling us where they're at. And now we're giving them healthy tips on that. And then obviously towards the end of that, hey, you want to get on a free call and we can do like a free consultation and see how our services can be of more benefit to you. But the whole transition of that compared to, hey, put your email here and sign up for us and we're going to be the ones to help you, like they can see through that, right?
Yeah, so the marketplace is smart.
They can see it.
They can see it. They can see. I just want to point something out, is that there's so much urgency for you to provide value inside of this campaign. You're like, how can I serve these people more? Like, how can I write up the best thing for them? And that's how a great sales process works, right? It's like you're trying to solve the actual problem that people are facing, as opposed to just shouting like, hey, buy this thing, buy this thing. Right. And so I think that the way that you've kind of crafted this and how other people could apply this, and what lesson I'm taking away, is just like, how can you find out more about your audience and give more value of what they're actually looking for more of the time, and it'll lead to more sales.
Yeah.
And I think you're just doing it in such a beautiful way. And I could just tell that you just want to serve people. That's why I'm not sure where I put it, but at somewhere I was like, Randall, he is a servant leader, because you were just out to serve your clients, or out to serve people powerfully. And so I think that this campaign showcases this mix of marketing and tactics and technology, with this, like, how can I serve people really powerfully and actually provide value to people, whether or not they end up signing up? Because I know that the more value I provide, especially in this marketplace, the more value that you provide, the more people are going to want to work with you. And there's like, people are done with these like outrageous claims and just like over the top marketing. People are done with it. Like, someone that I follow really a lot, his name is Jeremy Miner. He talks about like the era of trust is dead, where like people used to just like trust marketing. I might be saying this all backwards. This is what I'm taking away from it again in my mind, but it's like, there's only one way to develop trust, and that's to be genuine and to provide value. And like, gone are the days when like you would say something and people would just believe you. Right. Because there's so much, all the false news. And then there's, false stories, and, things like The Onion, while they're super hilarious, like, some people think they're real. And then some people think, and it's like, you don't know what you can trust. And so everyone, the whole marketplace, all consumers, all business owners, they're like, I don't know if I can trust this person. So the best way to develop that is to communicate with them, to find out what their actual problems are, and to give them solutions for those problems.
100%, 100%, man. And one thing, someone I invested into in my earlier days in the agency was Frank Kern. And he said this thing. He said, it's like a secret, right? It was a secret, but it's an old school trick, and it's helping people by actually helping people. And that right there is just so golden, because it's actually what's happening right now. I mean, gone are the days, like you said, where you have a Lamborghini in the back and you're telling people, hey, if you want to get this, you know what I'm saying, swipe up, you know what I'm saying? Like, click the link below, knowing that it's rented. They know that you just rented that whole thing for $1,000 for the day, so you can make this content video. But it's like, again, with this, like, the consumers, everyone's getting smarter. They're knowing to see the fluff. It's like, hey, swipe up, you have the Lamborghini, and it's, you know what I mean? But it's like, now it's like positioning yourself where you're giving value. You're actually helping them by showing that you can help them, and they're able to take what you're saying and literally apply it to their business and generate results that immediately just automatically generates more business for you, whether that's through referrals or through them themselves coming to you based on the success that they had from the value that you've given them. You know what I'm saying? So just that approach by itself, just giving value and wanting to be able, okay, hey, this is what we're doing. This is a success that we're having for these people within this industry. Test it out, try it out for yourself. They get success with it. This is like the whole step-by-step process, how we do it. I'm showcasing it to you. Boom, you go do it. You close some sales just naturally by that alone. And it's not a secret, right? It's just being, like I said before, it's being good at what you do. And you'll just literally start attracting business to you. It's not really a crazy philosophy. It's just, if you're really good at something, your value increases, your recognition, like everyone, it just starts to flow to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's certain, even in sports, it comes down to the wire. It's the fourth quarter. You know exactly who on the team to give the ball to, because why? You know what they'll be able to do under that. They're able to perform as needed. They know that they're going to close the game out and get us that championship. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the same thing in business. It's like everyone, based on their skill level, automatically by default, stuff's just going to happen to you. It's going to come to you. Just, you know what I'm saying? So just focusing, I think that's what's been a lot of majorly huge for me is, just kind of hearing that from Frank Kern, but really just being good at what we do. Just really get good at it, and just be not afraid to, because I know for the longest time, just to be 100% transparent, and I think this is probably common for a lot of creatives, is we come up with these ideas and we don't want to showcase them to the world because we don't want people to steal our ideas. And I battled with that for a long time in the beginning stages of my agency, because I was like, man, I have a good idea. Bang, what if we do this? Or boom, 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 and just keep it like that. But realizing, you're kind of just like crippling yourself. But when you share it what are you doing? You're showcasing your expertise. You're showcasing your genius, so people can actually see how you think and how you create these strategies. And and it's like, okay, cool, you take the idea, I love it, like I love that, take the idea, run with it, go crazy. And now that's what I'm pushing. It's like, hey, this is the presentation that I'm using, you guys want to use it, go crazy, push it, because it's working and it's effective. So I think that's so key.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Randall. Okay, so I know we talked about this being like an hour long, so I want to respect your time. We have only 4 minutes left. Is there anything that you wish you were able to share today that you haven't been able to yet?
That's a great question. But let me go close this window because it's like,
okay. And if you're on here or on the replay, we're on here with Randall Neason. He's the owner, operator, founder of ELV8ED Marketing. That's ELV8, the number 8ED Marketing. You can check him out, facebook.com/elevated marketing. And then comment down in the chat, tell him how awesome and all the good takeaways that you get from him. And then he's going to share something right now, maybe.
Appreciate it. I had to close the window. I feel like, I don't know, it's been quite often since, being in the pandemic and working from home. But I feel like the yard, the workers, like they're like, oh, Randall's on a call. Let's get our lawnmowers out. Let's get everything out right now at this moment. So I always constantly have to go back and kind of close the window. So my apologies on that. But yeah, man, as far as a takeaway to kind of wrap everything up, I would say this, and this kind of just came into me just from my mind. So I just like to flow off that. But analysis paralysis. I feel like that's a huge thing that a lot of people get stuck into. And it's just the intake of so much information that we never take action. So like the thing to kind of get yourselves out of that situation is literally just take action, literally just make a mess. And to paint a visual for it, one thing that I learned is, to think of a puzzle piece. Like when you get the puzzle pieces, like we don't just take out one piece of the puzzle and begin trying to put the pieces together. Like, what do? We get that whole freaking thing. We freaking turn it over. It's a huge mess. And now we're able to kind of see what we need to do to put the pieces together. And that's the same type of analogy when it comes to business or just taking action. Make a freaking mess, and just adjust the pieces as you go, because it will never be perfect when you start off. Like even myself, even as Michael was saying, as we started to go and started to progress in business, there was a lot of things that we realized, dang, I wish I could have been doing this a long time ago. Dang it. But it's a part of the process. Like you learn as you go. But if you don't go, you don't learn anything and you just stay stuck, or it takes longer. Like imagine that, a puzzle piece. You take out one piece out the box and you're trying to, you're just looking around.
You're like, looking at that one piece and you're like, I wonder how this all fits in. And you're just thinking about that one piece.
That one piece.
You haven't looked at the rest of the pieces, but you're like, yeah.
What does this connect to? This connects to what out of the million that are in this box right here? Which, you know what I'm saying? So literally just take it all out, you guys, and just unload everything. Just make a huge mess. Don't get stuck, because that was a huge thing for me, as I got stuck in the information. And this is the information age. So you can literally get stuck on YouTube. You can get stuck on Facebook. You can literally get stuck there to the point where you're gathering so much information and you're trying to perfect it before you take action, that you never take action. And especially right now with this time in this day and age that we're in right now, it's so golden to be online and to have a platform to be able to, showcase your value or bring your talent out there and just present it. Get on that video, challenge yourself, do a Facebook Live, do a 30-day challenge, do a 60-day challenge, launch that program, launch that service, literally just go. And you'll know that you'll start collecting the pieces. And most importantly, being established to a group like what Michael and Larry created, you'll be able to help put these pieces together even faster.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that share right there. I think it's beautiful. Randall, thank you so much for being on this call. It's 12:30 right now, so I want to let you go. But how can people get connected with you if they want to learn more or just be connected with you? Where's the best place for them to go?
Yeah, 100%. So on Facebook, Randall Neason, you can find me on there. I'm really attentive there more than all the other places compared to like LinkedIn and Instagram and all that stuff. I'm really like on Facebook, kind of dialed in there. So if you want to reach me, Randall Neason, and we'll just chat.
I'll link to that below. Cool.
Okay. Cool, man. It's been
Perfect.
an honor. It's been an honor to be on here, man. Just share some value. One of many more. I'm pretty sure are coming. So much more. I've seen ones before this, and I know we got some more coming in the future, man. So just hats off to you for what you're doing, bro. For real.
Appreciate that. Appreciate you, Randall, and anyone that's out there watching, or if you're listening later on, just go follow Randall's last piece of advice. Go out there, take action, because you are an absolute contribution to the world. People need to connect with you. Your connection is required, and I just want to put that out there. So have a great day. My phone went off here, but see you all later. Comment hashtag replay if you're on the replay, hashtag live if you're on here right now.